Alright guys, mostly actually girls, we're gonna do a few series on lower body stuff. It's gonna be mostly ass focused and we're gonna go through them probably every week. If I have time, if I don't have time, we're gonna do it every 2 weeks. Today I got my friends that's gonna do most of the demonstrations for me and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, starting with a quick warm-up. Probably takes about 5 to 10 minutes. I don't want to spend too much time warming up, but I don't want to spend too little warming up either. So usually we're going to start with a couple of minutes of easy cardio. Could be rowing, biking. Since we're doing lower body, it's better to do something that involves your legs and your lower back so it gets nice and warm. And then I have a few other movements to get your hips and lower back and knees warmed up as well. We're going to go through them one by one. Okay, after a couple minutes of row, if you've been my client, this is what I do at the beginning of every session. We're gonna do some crab walk with a hip circle. That's what she's gonna do. That's up. Hip airplanes, hold on something for stability, bend the knee, keep that back leg straight, keep your torso parallel to the floor. You're gonna rotate from the hip, open up, and close in as far as you can. Open up, close in as far as you can. 10 each side. Alright, the hip airplane, one of the movements I always do before my squatting, deadlifting, like pretty much most of my lower body movements. What you want to focus on here is to rotate from the hip, the one that you have the same leg on the floor, and not letting that top leg drop down too much. So keeping that torso and the back leg kind of in one straight line the whole time. Just walk forward on your hands, press your hips down, walk back, come up, walk forward, press the hips down, walk back. Usually when I do my lower body stuff, I start with compound movement, deadlifts, squatting, lunging, and then as you progress, I move on to mostly single leg stuff. So first here, we're gonna start with Sumo Deadlift. We're gonna go stiff leg Sumo Deadlift, so we're not bending the knees too much to keep the tension on the hammies and glutes. Sumo Deadlift, we go wide stance, hands are inside your feet. What you do, you're gonna bend your knees slightly, stick your butt back, go down towards the mid shin. If you have plates on the bar, you're gonna touch the floor. You're gonna come up, squeeze the butt. You don't wanna extend your back when you're doing it. So again, slide down the knee, stick your butt back, keep the bar closed, come up, squeeze your butt, down slow, up, squeeze your butt. Over here we got the stiff leg Sumo Deadlift, which primary focus is on the hamstring and of course the glutes. Okay, next we got a little superset. Next we got a little superset. We're gonna do 4 sets. Walking lunges. Got the bar behind our backs. We're gonna lunge across the gym. Once you finish that, right away we're gonna do hip thrust. Alright, walking lunges. In order to make it a little more glute focused, as you go down, you want to focus on 2 things. One is to keep your shin as perpendicular as you can to the floor. And second thing is when you're taking that step forward, when you're going down on that lunge, you want to lean forward slightly with your torso to get that extra stretch on your glutes, which makes it more effective for your ass. A couple pointers on the hip thrust. First, you want your upper back, mid back on the bench, toes ideally parallel to each other. When you go down, you want your whole body to go down at the same time, and then when you're coming back up, you're gonna squeeze your butt, and that's where the movement ends. You don't need to extend your torso or tilt your head back. Just to make sure, keep your rib cage tucked in. As you go down slow, your whole body goes down. On the way up, your whole body comes up. You keep your eyes forward. The second you tilt your head back, you're rounding your back, and all the pressure goes from your ass into your lower back. You want all the pressure to stay on the bum. Alright, just one quick note on the hip thrust. When we're extending or when we're lowering ourselves, you want to keep your abs tucked in and not flexing or extending your spine. So no hyperextending the back, no leaning back with your head. You want to keep your eyes forward the whole time. And again, just move with the hips and not much movement in that midsection. Okay, next one, we're moving on to single leg stuff. We do curtsy lunges and single leg hip thrusts, but just with body weight. So there's no load, nothing. We're just gonna go back and forth. So we're gonna do one leg, and then we're gonna go on the single leg hip thrust. We do the same thing on the same leg. Once you're done with that leg, we're gonna move on to the other leg. Next we have curtsy lunges, followed by single leg hip thrusts. These unilateral movements, we're gonna perform both movements back to back on the same leg before moving on to the opposite leg. Again, you want to focus just moving from your hips. You're coming down, you're tapping your heel to the floor. So again, focus on like really drive that knee towards your face, towards your chest, and then come down control while maintaining that midline tight and not extending through that, and back and forth. Usually I like to finish my workouts or my clients' workouts with a high rep movement. I keep that high rep between 100 to 150 reps. And the idea is to get it done as fast as possible with as few sets as possible. Today we're gonna do hip extension. That's it. And then as per most of my workouts, I usually most of the time, like 90% of the time, finish off with a high rep range movement. Today is gonna be on the hip extension. We're gonna do 100 reps if possible. Get all 100 done in a row, but if not, go to failure, rest about 20-30 seconds, and then keep doing it until you finish off all those reps. On the hip extension, you want to focus on keeping that upper back rounded and pushing your hips towards the mat and not extending through your back. Boom, boom. Take that, YouTube.